Well, Cleveland is still alive. They're still alive, man. And they're going to the Bay Area for Game 5. Not only are they alive, man, they played the best game. Wow. They played arguably one of the very best games in NBA Finals history. They just pounced on Golden State tonight. Golden State probably thought that Game 3 mentally defeated Cleveland, and that Cleveland might have been a defeated unit. But tonight, Cleveland came out there on a mission. Generally speaking, bench players play better at home than they do on the road. And that assuredly happened today. Kevin Love had a very good game offensively. Tristan Thompson finally had a decent game. I think he had 5 points, going on with 10 rebounds. The first time he's had double-digit rebounds in this final series so far. I think in the first 3 games combined, he had something like only 5 rebounds or something like that. Tonight he had 10 rebounds. LeBron James had a triple-double, breaking Magic Johnson's record for most triple-doubles in the finals. I think this was his 5th triple-double in the finals or something like that. But to be fair, in 1989, I got to say this. In 1989, when the Lakers played the Pistons, Magic Johnson went down during the waning moments of Game 1. I think it was in the fourth. Was it the fourth quarter he went down? I think the Lakers had a lead. I know that. The Lakers had a lead when he went down. And he was out for the rest of the series. They ended up losing that game when, was it Tony Campbell? Who was the backup? Campbell? Whatever. It wasn't Magic Johnson. But anyway, that's irrelevant. I was basically trying to lose the fact that he pretty much missed the entire finals that he's credited for, and he could have gotten a triple-double or 2 in that one. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, LeBron James had a magnificent triple-double tonight. Kyrie Irving is one of the least credited all-stars. It's like whenever you're an all-star and you play with LeBron James, you become invisible. The man had 40 points tonight, and with certain people in the media, it's all about LeBron and how big this win is for LeBron and his legacy. And I'm like, okay, but what about Kyrie? Because oftentimes when Cleveland is in some type of adversity, it's oftentimes Kyrie that's stepping up. LeBron will step up too, but Kyrie almost always steps up when they really need him, when they need a big shot, when they need a great performance. It's Kyrie Irving who does it, but yet somehow it gets lumped in with LeBron, who might have had an okay game, but I don't know. That's a whole different topic, I guess. Another thing I gotta say is, man, where was this Cleveland team in Game 1? Playing physical, playing lights out basketball, shooting the ball the way they do. Okay, I understand, like I said earlier, the bench usually plays better at home, but still, defense translates to everywhere. Okay, where were they in the first couple games of this series? Because you played this in Game 4, it'd be one thing if you guys had won the last game, then you're down, then it's 2-2, we have a series. But it's 3-1 going into Golden State, with 2 of the next 3 games in Golden State. So it's like too little too late, man. I just think the series is over. You could tell that Durant really wants it. I think he had 31 points, or I think it was in his 30s as far as points is concerned. You could tell that Kevin Durant really, really wants a championship. And some of the other guys, we'll just do it at home. We'll do it at home. And I'm always of the belief that you never know what can happen it's just best to just wrap things up when you can. Okay? Now, let me say this too. I understand that it's going to be talk about calls. And I've said before, I thought this to an extent the NBA is rigged. But one thing that irritates me about Golden State Warriors fans is that they're always complaining. Excuse me. They're always complaining when their team loses. And they never lose. This is only the 16th time that your team has lost this season. The 16th. But you guys are complaining. Rig calls, rig games, rig. Well, I mean, I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine a couple minutes ago, man. I think it's a possibility that the NBA may try their best to push this to 7 games. And then the 7th game, they're just going to let everything fall as it may. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's always calls that are very questionable. You could tell that there's an agenda there. You could tell that sometimes they try to get certain people into foul trouble, or they call certain fouls on people to give them added point totals, or they send certain guys to the line in one game to benefit them. They're sending 90%ers to the foul line, and then to punish the other team, they send the 50%ers. It's not rocket science. But I just, if you're a Golden State Warrior fan, you have to hope that everything happens well when you go to the Bay Area for game 5. I mean, it should. I mean, I don't anticipate Cleveland scoring 49 points, which was a playoff record, again, and scoring, 86 points at halftime. I don't see that happening again. Okay? I just don't. But I will say this, man. If somehow, in some way, for the first time in the NBA's 71-year history, 120-something series, or 120-something times at least, when a team's been up 3-0. I think the record is something like 123-0 or 120-something-0 when a team has a 3-0 lead in the playoffs. That's the record. If they become the first team to blow a 3-0 deficit after becoming the first team last year to blow a 3-1 deficit in finals history, no team has ever blown a 3-0 deficit in the history of the NBA. Only one team in Major League Baseball was able to come back from that deficit. That was the 2004 Boston Red Sox. If Cleveland's able to do that, man, I don't ever want to hear any Golden State Warrior fan fix their mouth to if I even think the thought is just originating in your fucking head, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. If that happens, I don't care if Golden State goes 81-1 next year, they average 135 points a game. I don't give a fuck. Don't ever compare them to any of the great teams of all time if they were to blow a 3-0 lead. I seriously doubt that's going to happen. But if that happens, don't do that. But, I mean, I still think that, Golden State is going to win the series, man. I think they're just going to really play balls to the wall, I guess, in game 5, man. My thinking is this, though. I think that people got to remember the league is a business. Golden State's going to be most likely favored is their offense is just incredible, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the officials try to get somebody like a Kevin Durant in foul trouble or someone like that, the guy who's obviously the best player on the Warriors. Try to get him in foul trouble, man. Let me say this too. LeBron James is a front runner. Okay? He's a front runner. The other day, while he was either once again choking in the waning moments of a game where he's desperately needed, or he was padding his stats, whichever the reason it may be, he didn't shoot the basketball when his team needed him to do so. But when his team is up by 20, 25, and 30 points, this guy shoots more than fucking Wilt Chamberlain in 62. He's shooting the ball more than anybody. And he's such a fucking front runner, man. Anybody can shoot a basketball when you have no pressure, when your guys up by 20 points. But when you guys are down by 1 and you need a bucket to win, LeBron James ain't going to shoot that motherfucker. He's just not going to do it. It may be in a meaningless regular season game, but in the playoffs, in the finals, when it actually means something, and if he fails, he can be criticized heavily for it, nah. He's going to shift the blame to Kyle Korver. Or if he can, maybe Kyrie Irving. Or Derek Williams. Not LeBron. But he gets all the praise, though. But anyway, that's what I think, man. I think that Golden State's going to win this series still. Cleveland has too much. They're just too far behind now, man.